Keystone Global Media presents to you Game 3 in the series finale between the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils and the hosting Canon McMillan Big Macs. Mount Lebanon entered Cannonsburg Monday evening and spoiled the Big Macs' undefeated season with a 12-5 win. Tuesday's game was interrupted with rain, which pushed it to Wednesday. Marsh Chalk started on Tuesday, but it was Matthew Koken who came in and relieved his duties, starting the game on Wednesday. Marsh Chalk is set to start today, and Canon-Mag put the series to an even 1-1 split yesterday with a 3-2 victory. But today decides it all as Marsh Chalk controls the mount again, while Marsh Chalk is 4-0 on the season over 24 in the third innings. He allows just about 3.5 hits per game, strikes out 10. He's only walked 7 on the season, and his 5 earned runs pair with a 1.44 total ERA. Marsh Chalk is rivaled with the Division I Vanderbilt commit Graham Keene, who will be the ace for the Blue Devils today. Keene, who went 2 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout in that 3-2 loss yesterday, will be the head of the Blue Devils, looking to not only improve their home record but their conference record, as it's starting to boil down to the last few series of the season, with the Blue Devils having a 9-4 overall record but 2-3 in the conference, while Canon McMillan sits at a pretty 7-1 conference record, 12-1 overall. As we get ready to read our starting lineups, we'll start with the visiting Blue Devils. Batting first and pitching is Graham Keene. Dane Barber in the 2 spot will play short. Ben Kramer hitting in that 3 hole is playing third base. Chase Smith is the designated hitter for center fielder Tierney. And then we move to the 5 spot. It's James Goulin playing first. And in the 6 spot, Beckett Yost playing second. Out in left field, Cool Kapler and batting 7th. In center field, behind the plate is Levi Isner. Got that mixed up with Tierney in center. Levi Isner is in the 8th spot, catching, and rounding it out in right field, playing that 9 hole. Batting at that 9 hole is Jackson Marschek. For the Canon McMillan Big Macs, it is center fielder Massimo Falcone. It's been that all season. He's batting at a .568 clip. Then it's MJ Marshak who will be on the mound, the Winthrop commit. He's in the 2 hole. Batting third, Troy Stimson going to pit. He's catching. In the 4 hole, Nico Petragas will play third. Radu is at first in the 5 hole. Kaden Laskowski is in left in the 6 hole. Designated hitting, the Cincinnati commit. He's going for pitching, but he's hitting today. Sebastian Shulsky batting 8th is Alex Easlip. He'll be in that second baseman position where Marsh Chalk usually plays when he's not on the mound. And rounding it out for the Big Macs lineup is Noah Westfall, the trusty shortstop, who bats .323. It should be a fun one. 2 star-studded teams, 2 fundamentally sound teams here at Keystone Global Media. And while Scott Drabick announces our starting lineups, we will step away momentarily for the announcements and our playing of the national anthem.
Starting in right field for the Big Macs, number 21, Gavin Santry. Batting 7, today's designated hitter, number 7, Sebastian Shulsky. Batting 8, the second baseman, number 3, Alex Easlip. And rounding out the order for the Big Macs, the shortstop, number 10, Noah Westfall. Now, to honor America, please direct your attention beyond the right center field fence. Rise, if you are able, and gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
series finale between Canon McMillan and the visiting Mount Lebanon Blue Devils will be hosted at McDowell Lane Field here in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. Leading both teams, it's head coach Brendan Steele of the Big Macs, and of the Blue Devils, it's head coach Pat McCluskey. Two guys who've been around the game of baseball for as long as they can remember, I'm sure. Marshak going to attack with the pink glove on the mound today. And leading off things, we'll mention it again, it's Graham Keene. He went 2 for 3 in the split affair between Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll just say yesterday for everything. We'll call it the split game, but we'll just call it yesterday. So in that game yesterday, that 3-2 win over Mount Lebanon, Marshak on Tuesday, he went 1 1/3, allowed a run, 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 4. And as I was speaking to Marshak before the game, I was asking him, this must be the first time this year that you've pitched twice in 2 days. And he said, yeah, absolutely. He saw himself in that relief role last year, was very used to coming back 2 days later and only closing out an inning, usually only 10 to 12 pitches. That's why he's going to Division I to play baseball. He had offers from the likes of Ohio University, Sam Houston, Central Michigan, Akron, but his heart fell with Winthrop. He felt as if they were the ones that pursued him the most. He'll be featuring fastball, curveball, changeup, slider in that order of pitch mix. It's Stimson who will be catching him. The middle infield we'll start from first, go to third. It's Radu, Easlip, Westfall, Petragus. And then we'll move left to right in the outfield. It's Laskowski in left, Falcone in center, and Gavin Dantry in right. He'll be pinch hit for Shulsky. And then, of course, Marge Chalk to Stimson will be your main feature story today. So Canon McMillan started the season 11-0, 7-0 in the conference, and Mount Lebanon came in here on Monday, and what was a game that Canon McMillan would like to forget, just filled with errors, a lot of mental mistakes, and it turned into Mount Lebanon's favor. They came back, answered, even disregarding the rain delay with a 3-2 win Wednesday. So that's where you see that one loss in both the conference and overall record. Little discussion, little pregame antics of let's get this thing done. The 9-4 Blue Devils, the 12-1 Big Macs, 2-3 in the conference is Mount Lebanon. And as we get set for first pitch, it's 81 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Marsh Chalk winds pitch, gets a wave and a miss, and that's how we start this one on Thursday evening. So just a warning, there may be some showers pushing in over Canonsburg. That means we would have to tear down our camera setup. We'll probably just go with the one camera setup, but it says not till 7 o'clock, so we'll see if that holds. This ball gets past for due, and we start off with a line single to right. Graham Keene reaches first safely. Mount Lebanon has a 3-2 road record prior to the series against Mount Lebanon. They lost to Hempfield and were outscored 19-5 in those first 2 games. But they came back and found their stride, won last Friday over Hempfield, and took that momentum into Monday's win against Canon Mac. The rain delay might have reset them. So Marshak faces Dane Barber now. Barber, the left-handed hitter, takes ball 1. Barber in yesterday's game went 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Keene, no ordinary lead as Radu holds him on his first. Marshak set the pitch. Keene goes. The throw down. It won't be Keene. It's a pinch runner. He's out. Didn't see the substitution. But regardless, Troy Stimson with a rifle down to second base, and a caught stealing is how the first out will be put in this game. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Barber as Keene's courtesy runner. It's Sam Wetzel. There's a John Wetzel in the NFL. Wonder if they're related. He was from the Pittsburgh area. This one's driven to left field. It's going to get down past Laskowski. Rounding first, headed to second is Barber. He's in there with a stand-up double. And they strike right back, does Mount Lebanon. So 2 hitters, 2 hits, but 1 out from that caught stealing as Barber's on second. Ben Kramer standing in now. Kramer 0 for 4 yesterday, hitless in that split game. Struck out twice, has Barber on second with just one down. Marshchalk looks back, the throw. Strike on the outside corner. Canon McMillan atop the conference with a 7-1 conference record. Mount Lebanon, probably their biggest threat, as they swept Norwin in that 3-game set just prior to playing Mount Lebanon. That one's low and away. It's 1-1. Ben Kramer in. Marshchalk set. The pitch. Fouled back. Getting a piece of it was Kramer. Now Marshchalk ahead of Kramer. As I mentioned, just a little over 3 hits per game coming in. This one already 2 registered from the bats of the Blue Devils. Hit him pretty solidly in the 1 1/3 innings he pitched on Tuesday as he resets, takes the mound again. Turf infield, grass outfield here at McDowell Lane Field at the McDowell Lane Sports Complex in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. Getting that left foot in ready position, the lead foot, the set, the pitch from Marshchalk is up. One down, it's Kramer on second, got in there with a drive to left, got past Laskowski, nearing the wall. Last time this team won a WPIAL and PIAA championship was 2018. Fighting to stay alive as Kramer kind of just a hack at the ball. Gets a piece of it. 2-2 it remains. The grass appears thick with a lot of weeds. So watch for those slow rollers past the infield. Probably going to die in the outfield quickly. Marshchalk tries the 2-2 again. The set, the pitch. Looking, and there's 2 down. Kramer now over his last 5 at bats, 3 strikeouts in those 5. It's Chase Smith, the designated hitter. He went 2 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday. So, righty, lefty, righty, lefty. It's the order of the hitters of this Blue Devil lineup. Little off-speed changeup. It appears Smith was ahead. Smith is your DH for Tierney today. Tierney will be playing center. Smith will be playing that bench position until his bat gets called upon. So he's sitting pretty. Probably the best position in Major League Baseball is a DH. You just get paid to hit. You don't have to do any work in the field. Marshchalk's 0-1 is up and away. Calm winds blowing eastward, slightly to the north. Marshchalk's 1-1 to Smith on the inside quarter. MJ Marshchalk has 2 down. Barber, the lone base runner, stands at second. He doubled down the left field line. Followed with a Ben Kramer strikeout. That was looking. Now the 1-2 to Chase Smith. 2 down. Marshchalk sets the pitch. Staying alive is Smith. Marshak will try it again. Looking to set the tone of the series finale. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. So Mount Lebanon, after 2 hits and a caught stealing, they only leave 1 runner on. No errors in the inning, but 1 left on. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. It's Canon McMillan and Mount Lebanon scoreless. I'd like to start our break by thanking our sponsors. Just a quick shout out to all our sponsors before we get into everything. We'd like to thank the Mariana Outdoors Association, Boyer Pentec, Seaside Sports, Virginia Manor Shops, Hellbender Marketing, Midtown Market, MP Coney Island, Major Mallards, Brochacho's Salsa, All-Star Sports Bar and Grill, and Life in Motion Chiropractic Center here in Canonsburg. So we'll see what the bats of Canon McMillan could provide early in this bottom half of the first inning. Will it be of the likes of what Mount Lebanon did to them on Monday? Just kind of dismantled Shulsky's outing. Shulsky entered that game with a sub-1 ERA, now up past a 2.3. His stuff was there. Mount Lebanon just put good sticks on it. We'll see if Massimo Falcone can answer with that leadoff triple like he did in that game Monday. Falcone, right after that triple, 2 pitches later, was victim of a line out at third base double play. A lone double play there at third. Caught it, dove back to the bag before Falcone could get there. Falcone leads the team in on-base percentage and average. In average, it's truly not close. He gets on base 62% of the time. He scored 18 times this season, knocked in 9 with a .570 batting average. Falcone, a 4-tool player. You ask him yourself, he'll tell you he doesn't have the pop, but that triple the other day, it was probably his hardest hit ball all season. That was his lone triple. And if the stream's a little bit choppy, we're having some trouble with some technology right now. Try to get everything of those manners sorted out, but it'll be Graham Keene's first pitch to Falcone. He sees strike 1, and Canon McMillan's bats are underway. Keene's 0-1. Ground ball to the right side. Diving to make the stop is Yost on to first. Fantastic play to start things off for that defense behind Keene. A ground ball to second base. Yost ranges to his left, diving to make the stop. Tosses it to Goldwyn and gets Falcone by about a step and a half. MJ Marshak now. Pitcher versus pitcher. Keene led the game off. Marshak batting second. Keene, the Vanderbilt commit. Marshak going to Winthrop. Just a little bit of talent in this plate appearance here. The 1-0. Ground ball to short. Barber up with it. The hop, the step, the throw, pulls Goldwyn off the bag, but he gets Marshak before touching first. 2 quick outs for Mount Lebanon. Troy Stimson, who hit a solo home run on Tuesday. That top half of the second inning was the first run for Canon McMillan. A wave and a miss. Stimson bats .379. He's hit 2 out and knocked in 12. He'll be the primary catcher of this Canamac team. The 0-1 with 2 down. See strike 2 does Stimson. So they wore the pinstripes on Monday. They went with the grays today. That strikeout and throw down to Stimson. That'll be 3 outs. 1, 2, 3. The Big Macs go. We head to the top half of the second inning. It's 0-0.
Let's go, boys. Hey, you know you were out either way, right?
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Mariana Outdoorsman Association, a leader in outdoor recreation and conservation here in southwestern Pennsylvania. From fishing along 10 Mile Creek to hunting, shooting sports, and community events, the MOA continues to create opportunities for people of all ages to experience the outdoors. With hundreds of acres to explore and a commitment to preserving our natural resources, it's more than just a club, it's a destination. Learn more and get involved at MarianaOutdoors.com. 0-0 ball game. We head to the top half of the second inning. Leading it off for the Blue Devils is James Gould, the first baseman. He had a busy first inning. Every ball was thrown to him to get the out recorded officially, even after Stimson's dropped third strike. Needed a little throw over to first. Gould, he had a ball that pulled him off the bag. He was able to make the play on Mars Chalk. But 2 hits in that first inning from Mount Lebanon. They had a caught stealing, which would not be ideal, but it was Wetzel who pinch ran for Keene. Ended up working out in Canon McMillan's favor because that double from Barber possibly could have led to a 1-0 lead from Mount Lebanon. So the throw down, the pre-inning routine for every team ends, and Mars Chalk will take the mound to face Gould. Gould in yesterday's game, he went 1 for 3 and struck out twice.
Go, MJ. Go, 1-3.
Mars Chalk starts the top half of the second inning with a swing and a miss. Gould sees the second pitch, bounces at home plate. Will be a ball. Mars Chalk, even though he leads the team in home runs, is going to Winthrop University as a pitcher. That one at the knees doesn't get the call. It'll be 2-1. The 2-1 is a strike in there on the outside corner. Mars Chalk's 2-2. Fouled out of play. So it was Matthew Koken who relieved in that 3-2 win yesterday. Koken went 5 2/3, allowed a run on 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 7. As we have the 2-2 delivery once more, ground ball over to Westfall. He backstabs it on the throw. Radu on the stretch gets past him to the fence, and Gould will reach second base safely with no contest. So leadoff man on second will probably be ruled as an E6.
Hey, we're good, boys. Let's go. So more than good.
Westfall made a solid play on the backhand, just not enough on the throw. Pulled Redu off the bag. Redu not able to get there. We're all the way to the fence down the first base line. And the result of that is a leadoff runner at second base for Beckett Yost. Yost 0 for 2 yesterday, walked once, struck out once. The scattered stance closer to the back of the box. Shows bunt, pulls it, falls in there for a strike, does the pitch for Marshchalk. So I was mentioning Koken's stats, and I just meant what it meant for Koken to go up there and finish that game out for what originally was Marshchalk's start. He said, "Yeah, that's exactly what we needed." Koken, he's a dog, man. So that bunt right back to Marshchalk, gets past him to throw on the third is a tag play, and they get going with the lead hand. Heads up play from MJ Marshchalk, understanding you're most likely not going to make that throw off your back foot throwing to first, so he just lets his momentum take him to third. The underhand toss to Petragus. Petragus with a beautiful tag. And once again, the leadoff runner for Mount Lebanon is retired in unordinary fashion. That goes a 1-5 putout. However, Beckett Yost reaches base safely. The pickoff hits the back foot of Yost, but his hand was already in there. Cautious with the lead now is Yost. Marshchalk's first pitch to Kapler's fouled off to the right side. Cool Kapler hitless in yesterday's affair with 2 strikeouts. He also received the loss in that game. He pitched 4, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. Just swing and a miss. He walked 3 and struck out 4, but received the loss after Canon McMillan took the lead on a Westfall ground out where Ben Kramer scored. Marshchalk's 0-2 to Kapler. Staying alive is he. Marshchalk moving efficiently. The 0-2 once more to Kapler. He steps back, thinks about it. The approval from the Canon McMillan dugout definitely did not get signed off. We'll try again. Little low. Yost over at first will check his lead, see if it's anything more than it was after the initial pickoff move prior to the first pitch of this at-bat. We'll do it again, the 1-2 from Marshchalk. Swing and a miss. His 3rd strikeout on the day. And his 53rd on the season. And just his 6th appearance.
Catcher, Levi Fisher.
6 games started, 6th appearance, but only 4-0 as nothing got registered for the 1 1/3 innings he pitched to start the game Tuesday. See what he starts Levi Isner out with. Isner catching for Keene today in that 8 hole. He went 0 for 3 with a strikeout yesterday. Late break back to the bag. Good move from Marshchalk. It's Yost over there. Isner sees the first pitch, gets a piece of it, fouled straight back to the backstop. Mount Lebanon has seen a WPIL championship more recently. In fact, they went back-to-back in 2022 and 23. Well, Canon Mac, as I mentioned, their first WPIL championship came in 2018, but they won the States in 2008. This one gets away from Stimson. He ends up corralling it, staying with it. Nowhere for Yost to go. Marshak taking a little breather. Kind of interrupted his pregame routine earlier. He was sitting on the bench by himself with his AirPods in. I said, hey, give me like 5 minutes of your time and I'll get out of your hair. He was nothing but respectful about it. The 1-1 delivery, inside corner. 1-2. With 3 strikeouts already through 1 2/3. Marshak is ahead on Isner. 1-2, 2 down. Yost on first. Marshak's pitch gets him looking. 4 out of 6 outs recorded by the K. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Mount Lebanon leaves 1 on after an error. No runs, no hits, just 1 left on. It's 0-0. Today's game is brought to you by Boyer Pentec, your local experts in restoration and construction. When fire, water, or storm damage hits, Boyer Pentec is ready to respond quickly and professionally, helping homeowners and businesses recover with confidence. With decades of experience and a hands-on approach, they manage the entire process from cleanup to rebuild. Visit BoyerPentec.com and see why they're trusted across western Pennsylvania. So we'll get storm updates, and when we have that, the hitless Canon McMillan Big Macs will come up to bat. They were retired 1-2-3 to start the bottom half of the first. In about 15 seconds, we'll be right back with you. As you already heard, maybe through the microphone, maybe not. I don't know how far it picks up, but it'll be Nico Petragus leading things off for Canon McMillan. Keene's first pitch of the bottom half of the second is low. Take a look around 6A. It's Canon McMillan in first place of 6A Conference 2 at 7-1. Norwin at 5-3. All 3 losses of Norwin coming from Canon McMillan. Then Mount Lebanon in third at a 2-3 clip. Hempfield following at 2-4. They play at home against Bethel Park today, and then Woodland Hills at the bottom, winless 0-5, now 2-0. And then Woodland Hills plays at Norwin today. We'll look at 6A Conference 1 at Seneca Valley. They're in first place. They just played their first conference game. They defeated North Hills. They're 1-0. Butler second place at 4-2, and North Allegheny and Central Catholic tied for third at 3-2, and then North Hills sits at the bottom, just 1 win, 1-6. Strike on the outside corners in there. It's North Allegheny at Central Catholic. Pine Richland plays at Butler, and then Seneca Valley is at North Allegheny, or North Hills. Foul tip, gets a piece. Isner can't hold on, doesn't matter. Wouldn't have been dropped. Wouldn't have been a strikeout if he caught it. That's what I was going to say, but the 2-2. Petragus sees it low.
ball for. Let's go, 8. Go, 8. Come on, kid. So, Nico.
The full count from Petragus, looking for the first base runner of the Big Macs. It's popped out the right side. Ranging back is Golan. He falls in fair territory and makes a phenomenal catch. Marchek was coming on. That's Jackson Marchek in right field. Was coming on. That ball was tailing foul, and it kind of sliced back in, hooked back into play, whatever you want to call it. And if it fell, it could have been 2 or 3 bases. Regardless, fantastic play by James Golan over there at first base. Braden Radu tied for the team lead in home runs with 4. He has 16 RBIs. Now just got over that 300 batting average clip, batting .313. He struggled in his first few games. The power was there, but for average it wasn't. It's just exponentially increased over the course of the season. Isner and Keene, that's the second time Keene stepped off due to them not being on the same page. In about 5 pitches, so the 1-0 to Radu, grounded up the middle, ranging to his left, off the glove. It's going to be an infield single for Braden Radu. So the first base runner comes off the bat of Braden Radu. It hits Barber's glove at short, but would have been a tough play regardless. Nothing ordinary about that. So no errors. Caden Laskowski, who recorded his first 2 RBI Monday, as well as his first home run on the season. He had a towering drive right to the left of the scoreboard out there in right field. Keene's first pitch to Laskowski. Radu the runner at first after an infield single. Not much of a lead over there. Wind calm. Keene's 1-0. Doesn't hit for power, does Laskowski usually, but that .412 batting average is second on the team. Falcone just kind of ran away with that one in terms of leading the team in batting average. High chopper towards second, ranging to his right, throwing to second, and getting the force out there is going on to Barber. Yost covered first. Fundamental, so that'll go as a fielder's choice. 3-6 put out.
Designated hitter, Sebastian Wolski.
Sebastian Schulski committed to Cincinnati. Batting .292, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. The pickoff at first, great move. Late break back to the bag from Laskowski. Nothing of it. But Schulski, when we spoke Monday, was talking about, hitting, pitching, which one he prefers. He was like, of course I prefer pitching. Getting that strikeout's just ultra satisfying. He said, no offense, I'm not great with the bat. I said, hey, that's only offense to yourself, man. You're not offending me. But first pitch to him is a wave and a miss, hit a ball low. Schulski says he models his pitching game after Mason Miller. He's actually closer with Mason Miller than you think. He said Miller, another pickoff move, finds Laskowski. The ball is dropped. Laskowski doesn't know that the ball was dropped, so he stops. He's in a run down Josh Harrison style, now slips on the base, and that ball doesn't get dropped. We'll see who that put out came from. It was Number 14, Dane Barber, came over from short, ran Laskowski down. Laskowski had no clues, slipped on the turf twice during that rundown. It was close the first time, and he got caught the second time. So when we return for the Canon McMillan offensive barrage, it'll be Shulsky up again after a pickoff move. We head to the top half of the third. It's 0-0 still. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Seaside Sports, helping athletes train, improve, and compete year-round. With indoor cages, experienced instructors, and programs for players of all levels, Seaside provides the tools needed to develop real results. Whether you're working on your swing or preparing for the next level, it all starts with the reps, and Seaside gives you the place to get them. Visit seasidesports.com and get started. So that last put out, Shulsky's going to Cincinnati. Shulsky was the batter. Then Laskowski finds himself in a Josh Harrison type rundown. Josh Harrison actually went to Cincinnati, but he wasn't as successful as him after the 1-3-4-3-6 put out. It was shortstop Dane Barber who ended up completing the tag after the failed few attempts to get Laskowski. So leading things off for the Blue Devils is Jackson Marchek. Didn't play yesterday. Sees Marshall's first pitch and fouls it back over the backstop. Wonder if that one got to the woods or stayed in play. Most like it. I wonder how many balls are down there and if anyone ever goes to retrieve them in that pile of trees. Would have a field day. 0-1. This is just low. So you know how expensive baseballs are now. I think it's $350 for a ball. It's ridiculous. The 1-1. Nice little curve in there from Marshuk. Drops in. The clouds starting to come now. Maybe a early warning of that storm. It was moving in. Probably looked like it was set to get here around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Nothing of heavy rain, but Marshuk's 1-2 to Marshcheck is a foul. Kind of a check swing foul back to the backstop. So he'll do it again. Marshchuk to Marshcheck. Marchek. Get caught up in the Mars, but there's a lot going on. We just went to the moon, the 1-2. Well, hey, they said the goal is Mars. Artemis second just completed that mission. Marshuk shakes off Stimson, but he winds, and the pitch is away. Marshuk looking for his 55th strikeout on the season. Could do it right here with this full count. Inside corner and the leadoff runner in that 9-hole. That's a vital leadoff runner to have with Graham Keene stepping up to the plate. Keene singled in the first, and his pinch runner. It was Sam Wetzel who got caught stealing in that first inning. Keene waves. Second time he faces Marshuk. Today he's 1 for 1. Takes ball 1 low. The chirps of the Blue Devils dugout. Faces the pitch from Marshchalk right back up the middle toward Falcone. He gets the ball in quickly, first and second, no down. Now 2 singles in his first 2 at-bats. It's going to be Wetzel again, pinch running for Keene. Wind's picking up a bit now compared to the calmness of what we saw to start the game. Dane Barber doubled his first time up. An opposite field double. Probably would have scored Wetzel from first, although it was a rifle, and Laskowski managed to get it in semi-quickly. So first and second, no down. Barber in a prime position to do damage for the offense of Mount Lebanon. Sees strike one. Yeah, the more you look, the more gray you see in that sky, so we'll keep you updated with everything weather-wise. Temperature dropping just slightly. Honestly, more to my liking without the sun beaming. Marshchalk's 0-1. Ground ball to third. Petregas up with it, throws across the diamond, gets Verdue. Runners move up 90 feet, however. Fielder's choice. 5-3 putout. Coach Pat McCluskey calling for an offensive conference. That's between his runner on third, Marchek, and now Ben Kramer, who struck out looking his first time up. Blue had enough of it. Comes out with the kind of what a kangaroo-style hat would look like, but it's a short brim. Couldn't really describe it to you. Put a propeller on top. A little circus hat. Regardless, second and third. It's Ben Kramer, struck out looking. Now hitless in his last 5 with 3 strikeouts. Marshchalk's first pitch. See strike one, does Kramer. Barber's chopper to third kind of worked as a sacrifice bunt as it advanced both runners with 90 feet, him being the only out at first. The 0-1 delivery to Kramer waved on and missed. Marshchalk maybe getting a sense of just keep attacking. Kramer's struggled early facing Marshchalk. Runners on second and third. The 0-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. Had a ball about 3 inches above the zone, maybe more. Big swing and a miss there. The biggest strikeout of the day for Marshchalk. Sits down Ben Kramer, and Chase Smith, the designated hitter, he struck out his first time up as well. His 55th strikeout on the season for Marshchalk. Sees Chase Smith in a big situation with runners in scoring position. 4 strikes in a row. Let's keep that moving. Looked like the changeup. As I mentioned, his split is fastball, curveball, changeup, slider from Marshchalk. Played at a travel team based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, called Supreme Baseball. Gets another strike. Did that over the summer. That's kind of where Winthrop saw him. They were real happy with him, kept pursuing him. And he said he couldn't have made a better decision. It's the best decision he's ever made. And I quote, he pitched 50 pitches. The 0-2. Ground ball to short. Westfall up with it. Throw on to first. Verdue keeps his foot on the bag. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. And 2 left on for the Blue Devils. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's 0-0. Canon comes to bat. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Virginia Manor Shops. It's located on Green Tree Road in Pittsburgh. Virginia Manor Shops has convenient access to everyday essentials like groceries, baking, coffee, and more. It's the perfect stop for busy days. Whether you're running errands or grabbing something quick, everything you need is right there in one location. Make your next stop Virginia Manor Shops. And I believe we're tearing down some equipment. Is that the consensus here? Tearing out our 1st and 3rd camera, so we're going to be working with this high home camera that you see currently, and possibly looking at this solo cam in here. Because, yeah, this storm kind of, it said it was coming for 7. Looks like it got anxious and eager, ready to go and get here. Of course, a rain delay on Tuesday. This is the 4th time these teams have seen each other in a row, even though this is the 3rd game, because of the continuation from the Tuesday's game into Wednesday. But it's Sebastian Schulski stepping in. And as I was saying, him and Mason Miller, a good relationship on Instagram. Every time Schulski posts anything on his story, Mason Miller will swipe up with words of motivation. Hey, man, you're a dog. Keep killing it. You know the Gen Z lingo. The 1-0 was low. So Keen 1-0 to Schulski. A little lower this time, but Schulski was hunting it. Looked like he wanted fastball in the zone, was ready for it. Keen gave him off speed low. Toyed with him a little bit, puts him back to 1-1. The even count in the throw. Shoves it right by Schulski. 292 with 2 homers and 5 RBI. Does Schulski have? And looking behind us, it's looking really dark in gray, so it's only a matter of time before that storm moves in. On 4 pitches, Schulski strikes out swinging. It's the 2nd strikeout of the day for Keene. We head to the 8 hitter in the lineup, Alex Easlip. Easlip, usually not a member of the starting lineup often, but on days MJ Marshchalk pitch, he's a regular second baseman. No RBI, no home run on the season. He's batting .250. Sees Keene for the first time this year. Ground ball to short. It's Barber up with it. Plays it about chest high. Throwing to first. A much closer play than anticipated. Golan with the stretch beats him by half a step. So the first 2 Big Macs are retired on 5 pitches. Mr. Efficient so far, Graham Keene. If they want to get this game in, it looks like they're going to have to be efficient on the mound. Could you imagine another rain delay and they play again tomorrow, see each other 5 times in 5 days? Any turmoil might cause a ball thrown right at one of the players. Nah, I'm joking. Well, like old rivalry, old time's sake, you know, Pirates Red, the 0-1 to Easlip, Yankees Red Sox type vibes. Seven pitches in, and on the 8th pitch, Keene has an opportunity to make the quick work of the 3rd. The 0-2, Westfall sees strike 3, and on 3 pitches, Keene records his 3rd strikeout of the day. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on for the Big Macs. We head to the top of the 4th inning. It's a scoreless game. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Hellbender Marketing, helping local businesses and teams stand out. From custom apparel and promotional gear to design, printing, and branding, They deliver high-quality results with a personal touch. If you're looking to elevate your brand or outfit your team, Hellbender Marketing has you covered. Visit hellbendermarketing.com and get started today. Top half of the fourth inning, still a scoreless game between Canon McMillan and Mount Lebanon. Mount Lebanon third in this conference with a 2-3 record. So Canon McMillan really not in too much danger for that top spot in the conference. The second team behind them is Norwin with a 5-3 record. They just defeated Woodland Hills 3 games in a row. So the first pitch of the fourth inning is a strike in there. It's going to be James Golan. As the wind picks up, clouds grow darker. It's only a matter of time before we get any accumulation of H2O here at the McDowell Lane Sports Complex. Marsh Chalk's 1-1 to Golan. Swung on back, fouled away. James Golan reached on an error his first time up and then was retired via 1-5 putout on a ground ball just past Marsh Chalk. He tossed it over to Petragus. That 1-2 is outside. Wind picks up. Any fly ball could be a tricky situation. Another strikeout for Marsh Chalk. That retires Golan to begin the fourth. It's his sixth of the game. Marsh Chalk at his last full outing against Norwin pitched all 7. Struck out 14 rather. Beckett Yost grounded into fielder's choice. Lines one over to the head of Liskowski and left. Rolls all the way to the wall. Hits the cutoff man Westfall with a stand-up double. Beckett Yost reaches there safely. One out, and the Blue Devils have a base runner for Cole Kapler. Kapler, who received the loss in yesterday's game, struck out swinging his first time up. Hitless of his last 4 at-bats with 3 strikeouts. See what Marsh Chalk starts him off with. Looked like a curveball. Didn't get it to break. Kind of sat up there. A little early release from Marsh Chalk. Eastlip holding Yost on at second. That one's low. Gets away from Stimson. Fires down to third. Hits the left arm of the breaking runner, Beckett Yost, and that's the second time Nika Petragus has made a beautiful tag, and that's the second runner Troy Stimson has caught stealing. So a few base running mistakes from Mount Lebanon has taken opportunities of base runners off the bag, so now it's Cole Kapler with bases empty in a 2-0 count.
When God said, let him be born, they intended to have with his arm. Go MJ!
Got Wetzel in the first. Now caught Yost this time. Kapler fouls one back. It's a 2-1 count. the 2-1. So breaking ball in there. Blue wanted to ring him up. Had a situation similar to that in, I go to Waynesburg University, but there was a broadcast, I think it was last week. The umpire strikes out this woman on, it was a softball game. Strikes her out, taps his chest, said, my bad, only 2 strikes. Breaking ball is hooked foul. Very similar situation there as he started the strike 3, kind of taps the chest. Oh, my bad, only 2 strikes. It's always funny. They're humans too. That's why people are pushing them to get replaced by robots. They're guaranteed no mistakes, but my opinion on that, you have to have home plate umpires. There will never be full replacement, no matter what level of any league, for robot umpires. Marsh Chalk's payoff pitch to Kapler is a line drive down the left field line, hooking, foul. About 2 feet foul. Looked like it was gonna stay fair. Had to peek my head out of the press box just to see, but I'll make the call for you. It's 2-2 once more. Marsh Chalk got him to strike out on swings in the second. There's a Kia. Is that a Kia Soul? So there's a car in right field. That was for the delay. They had their headlights on. There are no lights here at McDowell Lane Field, which is why every game is played at 4 p.m. Try to beat the sun. Marsh Chalk's 2-2 once more. It's just low. He wanted it, Stimson wanted it, the dugout of Canon wanted it. Of course, the opposite is that for Mount Lebanon. So clouds have moved in and Thor reigns on as apparently we have thunder. We'll see if the god of thunder appears. An electric reaction after these 2 teams were rained out Tuesday. Of course, that's the last thing they want. They're like, I have to see these guys again tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Which means one of them would have to make an extra 40-minute commute once more. So the full count payoff pitch from Marsh Chalk to Kapler gets him looking on strikes. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, striking out 2 that inning with a caught stealing from Stimson. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. It remains scoreless. Today's game is brought to you by Midtown Market in downtown Cannonsburg, a unique space that brings together food, shopping, and entertainment. Midtown Market offers something for everyone. It's a place to gather, relax, and enjoy everything the community has to offer. Stop in and experience Midtown Market for yourself. So, as you see, the clouds of gray are moving in, the opposite of what Louis Armstrong loves. And it came in pretty quickly, probably a 15-minute turnaround. Umpire said he heard thunder. It appeared not. both teams cheering for, of course, no thunder, no rain, no lightning, because that would mean they'd have to see each other again for 5 days in a row. Because you can't call a conference game a no contest unless they would push it to the end of the season if it's absolutely necessary. One of the players retrieved my note card. It was an old note card. I kind of feel bad, put him in that position, but the trees are absolutely howling out there in right field. Falcone, his second time up to bat. Grounded out to second. Great diving play by Yost to lead off the hitting affair for Canon McMillan. Keene's 1-0. Falcone leads the team in batting average, .568 coming into this game, reaching base over 62% of the time. Now we see light drizzle starting to come in just ever so slightly. We'll see how long it lasts. Falcone flares one to the shortstop Barber. On 3 pitches, he's retired again. So a soft line out to start the bottom half of this 4th inning for Falcone. Only 1 hit up to this point of the game for Canon McMillan. That came off the bat of Braden Redu in the 2nd. MJ Marshchalk grounded out to short his first time up. An old duel is what this has been so far. From a 12-5 game on Monday to a 3-2 game on a combined Tuesday, Wednesday. Marshchalk gets a piece of the 1-0. And this wind is blowing every which way. The rain started moving left to right, then right to left, now east to west, west to east, north south. It'll probably come attack us pretty soon here. Marshchalk lines one to left center. That gets down. It's going to roll, almost get past Tierney. He's going to try to stretch a single into a double. Unable to pick up the ball cleanly is Yost, and MJ Marshchalk starts things off with a double. Wonder if we're going to see some sporadic scenery. So Blake Simmons will be the courtesy runner for MJ Marshchalk as he's pitching. You saw Caden Laskowski slip on the turf twice. I don't know if that was the traction of his cleats or if it was just slickness of the turf, but definitely now something to pay attention to is how slick that turf will be and how this ball will react if there's any balls on the ground. And even with the fielders, obviously, grip will start to become a problem. As that pitch gets past Isner. Up to third is Simmons, so runner on third, just 1 down. Any ball in play past Keene should score Simmons from third. That'll go as a wild pitch. Troy Stimson hit a home run yesterday. Struck out his first time up swinging. We'll see what Keene features after the wild pitch, the 1-0 to Stimson. That one's grounded to first. Up with it is Golan. Not crashing is Simmons. And you would think anything past Keene, or at least so I thought, would have been Simmons breaking for the plate, especially since Golan had trouble with it. That ball kind of hopped up onto him. He trapped it to his chest, which meant it would have been tough for him to turn around and rifle that home, especially on target. Regardless, now that runner stays on third, and any out here ends the inning. No risk of run. Goes as a unassisted 3 put out. Strike 1 to Petragus. Petragus popped out to shallow right field last time. It was Marchek, who came in crashing, but Golan ended up making the catch, falling while doing so. Golan, of course, just retired Stimson on that grounder. The 1-0 to Petragas is on the outside corner, gets in there. No balls, 2 strikes to Petragas. Keynes 1-2. Ground ball right side, gets past the diving Yost. Canon McMillan takes the lead off of the single to right from Nico Petragas. Blake Simmons comes from third to score. And damage is finally done. The first piece of it in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Canon McMillan leads 1-0.
Into the box for the first time.
Nico Petragas steps up big time. And it won't be Braden Radu who hit a single his first time up. It's going to be Keegan Williams. Keegan Williams, the junior. We'll see what the switch is after this. 1-0 lead, 2 down. Runner on first is Petragas after his RBI single. Let me mark that before I forget. And Simmons scored. He was the courtesy runner for Marshchalk, who hit a double to left center. It was a single, but stretched it to a double. Impressive base running from the end of Marshchalk. His helmet fell off rounding first. That was a problem with Mount Lebanon in the field. They had about 10 hats fly off on ground balls, pop-ups while playing the field defensively. It was fairly windy Monday. Couldn't tell if it was a testament of non-fitted hats or the wind. The 1-1. Williams with a late swing. So Williams pinch hitting for Braden Radu. Graham Keynes, 1-2 payoff. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. But after the bottom half of the 4th, where we saw the first run off the bat of Nico Petragas, the Canon McMillans get a run on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 on. We head to the top half of the 5th inning. It's 1-0. Today's broadcast is brought to you by MP Coney Island, a local favorite serving up classic American comfort food. Known for their signature chili dogs and simple, great-tasting menu, they've built a reputation that keeps people coming back. Located in Cannonsburg, it's the perfect stop for a quick bite or a casual meal. Stop in today because it's all about the chili. Of course it's all about the chili. It's all about the chili every time here around MP Coney Island. But we're at the McDowell Lane field at the McDowell Lane Sports Complex. Mount Lebanon, as you see, only 4 hits. They're scoreless. Few base running mistakes have cost them, maybe. But Canon Mac, they've scored on 3 hits. Coming off the bat of Nico Petragas, an opposite field single. It's Braden Radu, who was pinch hit for. It's going to be Sebastian Shulsky. He'll go over to third instead of DH. So Shulsky takes Radu's spot. At first, Reduce takes Marshchalk's spot. Marshchalk only pitching this many due to the pitch count from Monday when he threw 50. So Marshchalk will go 4 innings pitched. He's allowed 4 hits. Struck out 7. And he walked 1. So if things line up
Number 17.
MJ
Levi
Marshak will be the winning pitcher. That's if Mount Lebanon is held scoreless. Brady Redu, first time I've seen Redu on the mound as an announcer. Hasn't pitched much this season. We'll see what he's capable of. Baseball is a marathon, not a sprint, as Bob Walk says. First pitch from Redu is a breaking ball inside. Still raining. Now the sky, truly no hint of blue beside far out there. Out past first baseline. Probably 20 miles out or so, 10 miles out. The 2-0 is fouled off. Levi Isner, he's 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the second. Hitless in his last 4 with 2 strikeouts, dating back to last game. The 2-1 is low. Bottom of the order, then you have Graham Keene as a guaranteed at bat in this inning, so no free base runners for Keene. That would be one of the things you may fear about, but that 3-1 is chopped foul.
Come on, Brayden, let's go, buddy.
Isner will see the 3-2 from the hand of Redu. He shakes off Stimson twice, likes the third. The pitch is fouled. Not even a full swing, just kind of putting bat to ball, make sure he gets a piece of it to stay alive is Isner. Isner catching today for Keene. Hasn't had any plays at the plate. The payoff pitch again. Swing and a miss. Redu enters this game and gets a strikeout on 7 pitches. It's a big strikeout off the hand of Braden Redu. Jackson Marchek in. He walked, reached third last time, was left on after Chase Smith 6-3 put out to end the inning. Sees ball 1 up and in. It appeared so that he did. I wasn't going to say anything until they checked because the ball was out of the zone, but Marchek, even from this angle, looked like he broke that 50% across the plate mark. That one's popped high and foul out of play. Superman Shulsky at first wanted it. It was about probably 100 yards foul. Took about 5 steps to his left. He said, nah. Don't want that one. So Redu has Marchek in a 1-2 hole. The pitch is low, bounces about an inch in front of the plate. Following a 3-2 win yesterday and a loss, 12-5 loss on Monday, this game could decide it. Will decide the series. The 2-2 is low. And it could be vital to the outcome of what the standings will be for 6A Conference 2. As Mount Lebanon's in 3rd place with a 2-3 record. The full count once more. Ground ball to Westfall. Kind of died with the charge onto Shulsky. 6-3 put out for the second out.
Number 24, Graham Keene.
Graham Keene, the only Blue Devil who's 2 for 2 today. 2 singles, but his courtesy runner was caught stealing in the first inning. It was Sam Wetzel that got caught stealing. Keene sees ball 1 right at the knees. Strike 1 right at the knees, rather. The first pitch from Redu. Redu steps off, resets. Looks like he's drying off his hand a bit. Sets again. Redu's 0-1 to Keene. Wanted it, doesn't go. Keene committed to Vanderbilt, one of the top players in the class of 2027. Has MLB draft potential out of high school. We'll see how much his stock rises next year as he sees 1-1 away. The 2-1. Redu resets. The claps in what some may call unison from the Blue Devil dugout. Keene bat flips the walk, throws his elbow guard over. Rounding first, looking for it. There was time called. Keene was going to try to stretch a walk into a steal to get to second, but it's going to be Sam Wetzel once more, courtesy running for Keene. First base runner. He's reached base 3 times. He's 3 for 3 for getting on base. 2 singles and a walk. Is Keene. Dame Barber now in. He reached base safely both times. Second time was on a fielder's choice 5-3 put out and a double in the first. Wetzel leads off. The pitch from Redu, facing the first lefty he's seen, is a ball outside. Nothing out of the ordinary over at first, but Redu checks him anyway. Dame Barber, the lefty, 1 for 2 in this game. The double and a fielder's choice. Lines one to right. Coming in is Dantry. He's crashing. Ball dies. Dantry will fire to third. It's cut off by Redu. No play there. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Ben Kramer steps up.
Now batting number 22, Ben Kramer.
About 20 minutes ago, home plate umpire called for thunder that was non-existent. Checked with the field umpire, making sure there was no thunder, or else there would need to be stop and play. There wasn't, and none of what has happened in the past 20, 25 minutes wouldn't have been possible if that had been the case. Anyway, it's Ben Kramer with runners on the corners, 2 outs. Rifle from Redu, ground past third base into left. Laskowski comes up with it first and second with 2 outs. Mount Lebanon ties the game with the single off the bat of Ben Kramer, his first hit of the day. One ball game and a brand new one at that. Braden Redu comes in to relieve MJ Marshchalk after the pitch limit was reached and gets the first 2 outs, but the last 3 have all reached base safely after the walk to Keene. 2 singles from Kramer and Barber. Now it's Chase Smith. Smith also over 2. He struck out his first time facing Redu. Comes now, grounded out in the third, did Smith. Runner on second is Barber. On first is Kramer. Redu's 1-0. Low. Kramer on first, Barber on second. Run from third was Wetzel, who courtesy ran for 14. Kramer singled him in. The 2-0 to Smith is a strike in there. Breaking ball that looked like it crossed at the knees. Broke low after. Late break gets the call. Generous lead at second is Barber. The pick as he went to get in there. It was Westfall's foot who kind of covered the bag. If he had put a tag down, it may have been base runner interference or fielder interference. The lead from second shortens. The pitch from Redu is away. Chase Smith in a hitter's count, 3-1 with 2 down, runners on first and second. The 3-1. That one's driven to left field. Ranging to his right, back under it. Laskowski can't make the grab. Laskowski in pain, can't get the ball. Head coach Pat McCluskey rounding everyone. He's going to hold Smith at third, but Kramer and Barmer come around to score. And Caden Laskowski is down and left. So 2 runners come across. It's Barber from second and Kramer from first. Mount Lebanon takes their first lead of the game. It's 3-1. Caden Laskowski, who's been ever so trustworthy in left, kind of trips over himself while going for the ball, misjudged the fly ball with the winds. With the wind moving westward, kind of pulled the ball back. And Laskowski had trouble with it. Regardless, it's and we'll wait to see what the deal is with Caden Laskowski. But for now, it was a 2 RBI triple off the bat of Chase Smith, and Mount Lebanon leads 3-1.
Chase. Chase. Roy. You want any? Four for 20.
Tyler Jenkins will come in to pitch run for Chase Smith after that. We'll see if it's ruled an E7 or a triple. Laskowski stays in the game, however, left landed on his front after coming back for the ball. A temporary injury. Shake it up, but Redu faces a new batter. It's James Goin. They keep the rally rolling. That gets past Westfall. It's 4-1 Mount Lebanon.
Number 7, Becky Yost.
Becky Yost 0 for 2, reached on an error in the second, struck out in the fourth with a 4-1 lead and a runner on first being Golan.
Go 4-7.
Yost sees ball 1. The 1-0 grounded off the front foot of Yost. Says a reactionary word of pain that probably shouldn't say on the broadcast, but I think you know where I'm going with it. 1-1 anyway when he steps back into the box. It's Gould on first to reach with the RBI single that got past Westfall. Mount Lebanon, all 4 runs coming in this top half of the 5th inning. It's Braden Redue's first inning of work as there's a high fly ball driven back. Falcone ranging to his left. That'll end the inning on a fly out to center, but after the first 2 batters were retired, a walk to Keene, followed by 4 base hits, give the Blue Devils a 4-1 lead. So 4 hits and 4 runs, no errors. 1 left on the Mount Lebanon side of things. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's 4-1. Today's game is brought to you by Major Mallard's Duck Pin Bowling, located inside Midtown Market in Canonsburg. A fun and unique twist on traditional bowling, Duck Pin is perfect for all ages and skill levels. Whether you're planning a night out or just looking for something different, Major Mallard's delivers a great experience. Book your lane today at MajorMallards.com. Mount Lebanon plates 4 to start the top half of the 5th inning. It finishes with a high fly ball from the bat of Beckett Yost after Redue's first inning of work. But it's Kaden Laskowski who had trouble out and left with that initial fly ball. It was a triple of Chase Smith, kind of stumbled over his feet, fell flat on his chest.
Come on, Ski. Right now, kid, right now.
Lasowski's first 2 RBI of the season came in the 12-5 loss on Monday as he hits a chopper to the right side, played in foul territory off the glove of Gould. It's going to be foul. He'll get another chance.
Come on, Six. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's go.
Graham Keene only allowed 3 hits up to this point in the ballgame. Faces Laskowski on the 0-2, gets a swing and a miss. He struck him out. It's his 5th strikeout of the game. His 4th swinging victim. Sebastian Schulski steps in again. He struck out his first appearance in the 3rd. Led off the 3rd. He'll be the 2nd hitter of the 5th, trying to get anything going for the Scannon McMillan offense. See strike 1 in there. Keene in a groove now after following his toughest inning, in which he allowed a run on 2 hits. He left a runner on. Schulski looking to be that first runner of the 5th. Sees the ball. Catcher Isner. Got to make in Keene work on that mound. 2 balls a little above his head. The 1-1. It's an early swing from Schulski. Chopper to Kramer. He steps, he throws wide. Schulski doesn't think he touched the bag. He gets there officially now. It's going to be ruled an E5 on the throw. And Schulski will be the lead runner for Canon Max. So 1 down, Schulski on first after an error. Alex Easlip, who grounded into a 6-3 putout, steps into the plate. A completely just lied to you.
Stepping into the box for
It's
the first
Blake
time
Simmons.
for the Big Macs,
He'll
number
replace
16,
Alex Easlip.
Blake Simmons.
And Simmons plays left field a lot of the time. So we'll see if he takes over for Laskowski in terms of what happened last inning.
Come on, Blake, let's do it now. Let's do it now.
But we'll update you on that based off the switches we see in the field. So runner on first, Shulsky, his first time on base, reached on an error. This is Simmons' first time facing Keene.
Come on, kid. Come on, Blake. Hey, be a guy now. Be a guy. Let's go. Come on.
Keene has Simmons down 0-1. Shulsky takes a secondary lead. The ground ball is foul off to the right side. Rich Rhoda tries coming up with it. Can't make a play. First base coach, Rich Rhoda, one of the top assistants of this team. Third base coach, Brendan Steele, and head coach, graduate of Waynesburg University. And Canon High School. Shulsky takes another lead at first. Keene looks on as Simmons in an 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss. That's the second strikeout of the inning and the 6th on the day for Keene.
Number 10, Noah Westfall.
Westfall struck out looking his first time up to bat in the third inning. They went 1-2-3 in that third, did Shulsky, Easlip, and Westfall. But now we started with Laskowski, who struck out. Shulsky, who's on first, reached on an error, followed by a strikeout from Simmons. Now it's Westfall trying to continue the inning. First pitch is fouled off, hits the looked like the inner calf pad of Isner. No harm done.
Come on, Nut. Hey, be a guy here. Be a guy. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on, right now. Right now.
So it rained for a little bit here at McDowell Lane Field in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. The rain, it appears it's gone. I don't think it's here. Might be very slight drizzle here and there, sporadic drops, but nothing in terms of being delay worthy. Strike two is right there, so Westfall falls behind 0-2 with Shulsky on first. Down 3. All 4 runs came in the top half of this inning from the bats of the Blue Devils. Westfall, who batted .323 coming into this game, is 0 for 1 with a backwards K. The 0-2 with Shulsky on first is up. The first loss of its season from Cannaback came on Monday to this Mount Lebanon team. This is the 4th time in a row, 4th day in a row, seeing each other. Graham Keene drops his gum. Calls time to pick it up, throw it behind him, because if he slipped on his own gum, that would just be a story. And where you say sports write themselves. The 1-2 is fouled off to the right side. Shulsky on first by way of error. Leads to Westfall batting with 1-2 and 2 down. The pitch from Keene gets him looking at the knees. We head to the top half of the 6th inning. Canamac leaves one on. No runs, no hits. 1 error. It's 4-1 Mount Lebanon. Today's broadcast is brought to you by All-Star Sports Bar and Grill in Canonsburg, your go-to destination for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. With a full menu, plenty of TVs, and a true game day atmosphere, All-Star is the perfect place to catch the action with friends and family. They also offer catering, private parties, and reservations, making it a great spot for any occasion. Stop in today or check them out online at allstarsportsbargrill.com.
Leading off for the Blue Devils, number 19, Cole Kapler.
Cole Kapler, who would have been the 9th batter of the 5th inning, but by way of flyout, stopped that from happening off the bat of Beckett Yost. Kapler is 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Swings at the first pitch from Radu. Must have been inside. The 1-1. Ground ball to third. Over is Petragas. Has trouble with it. Long throw to first. Reaching base safely is Kapler. We'll see how that one's rolled. Tough play having to throw 90 feet across that diamond. But Petragas had trouble with it initially on the stab. So we'll wait to see as this is a ground ball. 6-4. They try 3, but they call runner interference. They say Kapler overslid the bag a little too far and interrupted Marshchalk's throw over to first, so we'll go by way of a 4-6-3 double play for base runner interference. So Levi Isner now 0 for 3 after grounding into that double play. I'll wait to get an official ruling on Kapler's first one. I believe it would go as another E5. That'd be Petragas's first of the game, Canamax second. So Jackson Marchek. 0 for 1. Walked the first time against Marshchalk, grounded out to short against Radu. This is his second time facing Radu in as many innings. Has him up 2-0 early. Nice little hitters count. 3-0 now.
Come on, Brandon, you're good, you're good.
We'll see if he has green light with no one on. 2 down. I'd assume no, but we shall see. There's a strike right down the plate. I'd assume, yeah, that green light was not given to him. The 3-1. Ground ball up the middle to his left. Westfall on to first. 1-2-3. They go in unordinary fashion. No runs, no hits, 1 error, none left on. We head to the top half of the 6th inning. Canon McMillan still trails Mount Lebanon 4-1. Today's game is brought to you by Life in Motion Chiropractic Center in Cannonsburg. Focused on helping patients move better, feel better, and live healthier lives, their team offers chiropractic care, lifestyle guidance, and advanced therapies tailored to each individual. From back and neck pain to overall wellness and performance, they take a whole-body approach to keeping you at your best. Schedule your visit today at lifeinmotionchirocenter.com.
Look within. Fight it in yourself to make it happen. You ain't out of this yet. Come on, right now. Get up. Nice on three. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Let's go. Come on. Let's go, Mom. You gotta be loud, boys. You gotta be loud. Let's go, Mom. Come on, Mom.
Massimo Falcone steps in the bat for his third plate appearance today. He hit a soft liners last time up in the first and then grounded out to second on a diving play from Yost. So Falcone sees strike one. Keen's wind and the pitch is away. Well, down 3 in the bottom half of the 6th, needing every run you could get. This is right where you want to be in the lineup, the top of the order. Your best 3 hitters coming up in terms of average, power, slugging percentage, and things of that sort. Falcone's foul tip. Nine RBI on the season, no home runs for Falcone. He sees the 1-2 from Keen. Swing and a miss. Hisner catches it. No drop third. That's his 8th strikeout of the game. So Falcone, who has reached base in each of the first 13 games, is now at risk of doing so. MJ Marshchuk coming into this one, batting .368, hitting 4 home runs, 16 RBI. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Swing and a miss. I believe that hit either the helmet of Isner or a piece of the umpire equipment. Didn't appear that Marshchuk got a piece of it, but either way, it's 0-1. Doubled and scored his last time up was a lone run after the RBI single from Petregas. Throwing pure gas right now as Keen has Marshchuk in an 0-2 hole. Keen recruited to Vanderbilt as a hitter, but right now is absolutely dealing. Marshchuk sees the 0-2 from the hand of Keen, fouls it off the right side, gets every single human over there to jump, besides the one who didn't see it. I mean, that was a rifle off the bat of Marshchuk. You match speed with speed, and you're only going to get more speed, depending on which Newton's law of physics you're using. The 0-2 once more. Gets Marshchuk looking, his 9th and 4th strikeout in a row, his 5th of the last 6 batters he faced. Graham Keen, impressive. Troy Stimson, who hit a home run against his team yesterday, reached, grounded out into an unassisted put out from the first baseman, James Golan. Kind of a high chopper, Golan gathered. First pitch to Stimson's low. Isner has trouble with it. Troy Stimson going to Pittsburgh, of course. The 1-0 is away. Say the only, I I think I say this every time I mention he's going to Pittsburgh. The only player I knew in the majors when looking at this was Isaac Matson of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Plays in that relief role has been fairly impressive. Another time where Keene just steps off the base where he's not on the same page as Isner. Keene's 2-0. There's a swing and a miss from Stimson. The game of baseball from the high school to even the Division I collegiate level is completely different than what it used to be. The technology you have in high school, you actually have to play the game of baseball. You don't get handed earpieces, at least at this level. I don't know about the IMG academies of the world, but technology is just gets so much better and so more advanced the higher you go. And yeah, that's with everywhere you go, but it can be seen as a completely different game. And how guys adjust, how they make those adjustments, well, that's a testament to their competitiveness. And it's just a lot to think about. But the 2-2, Keene trying to get all three in order by way of the K. He does so, and Stimson on the check swing goes around fully 1, 2, 3. They go, all striking out. We head to the top half of the 7th inning. Mount Lebanon has a 4-1 lead over Canon McMillan, looking to steal this series and steal both at McDowell Lane Field. We head to that top half of the 7th. Canon McMillan trails by 3. Today's game is brought to you by Brochacho's Salsa, handcrafted, locally made, and packed with bold flavor. Based right here in Washington County, Brochacho's Salsa is all about fresh ingredients, quality recipes, and bringing people together over great food. From events and local deliveries to fundraising opportunities for schools and organizations, they're doing more than just making salsa, they're building community. Find them locally or learn more at brochachosalsa.com and see what the flavor is all about. Braden Radu will look to finish the game to go full 3 innings. He allowed 4 in that top half of the 5th. Blew this game wide open after we saw the first run of the game coming. That RBI single off the bat of Nico Petregas in the bottom half of the 4th. But we transfer over from Keene to Radu. Keene, who struck out the last 5 Big Macs, 6 out of the last 7. It was drizzling earlier, and now, well, they made its way back. Good thing we're in the top half of the 7th inning, because the way these clouds appear, it makes them look dangerous, but there is some white behind them. Something we haven't seen in probably the last hour when this storm and these clouds took over. Not much of a storm, but could call it one. Graham Keene steps in for the 4th time today. Keene is 2 for 2 with a walk. He scored to start the rally in the 5th for the Blue Devils. He swings and misses at strike 1. Keene sees strike 2 at the knees. Didn't like it, but he received a pitch the last inning, or the 5th inning, last time he faced Radu, right at the knees, and was pretty consistent, very similar location. Radu's 0-2 to Keene is in the dirt. Radu's 1-2. Ground ball foul. over the head of head coach Pat McCluskey. He goes to retrieve it out there in shallow left field. That's what the time's for. Hit the fence, then ricocheted. Kind of caromed off that fence. The 1-2 once more. Fouled our way. My goodness. That was about 3 inches to the left. You either have someone go to the hospital or a broken camera. You think you'd catch it? Cameraman, honorary cameraman Benicio DeFalco, he thinks he's making that play. He's not saving the camera, but he's saving himself. For the hat trick of the 1-2 pitch, Radu's delivery. Keene swings and misses on the check swing. They knock him down on strikes, and Radu gets Keene the first out of the 7th and a big out.
Number 14,
Dane Barber steps in. Barber 2 for 3 on the day with a double and a single. He scored off the RBI triple from the bat of Chase Smith that knocked down Laskowski and left. Pitch is low. Stimson blocks it. Ricochets back to Radu. Mount Lebanon 9-4 overall, 2-3 in the conference. Canon McMillan 7-1 in the conference, 12-1 overall. This could mean big things, especially if Mount Lebanon starts stringing together some wins after this Mount Lebanon series. Falling behind in the count has Radu to Barber. The 3-0 is low, so a 4-pitch walk surrenders Barber to first.
number 22, Ben Kramer.
Jacob said be louder. Come on, dude!
Barber with the lead at first, nothing special. No, Ben Kramer stepping up. Troy Stimson with a big block. That ball gets to the backstop. There's no doubt Barber heads for second, but stops him in his tracks, especially with the rifle of an arm behind home plate.
Come on, Radu! You got people behind you. Let's go!
The rain, the amount of it, just enough to spring annoyance in terms of what baseball is. A sport where no rain is tolerated. Well, it's being tolerated right now, but it's kind of like that mist. It just can set you over the edge. Reduced 2-0 to Kramer. That one's driven right back up the middle, out of the outreached E-slip. Puts runners on first and second now. On second is Barber. First is Kramer. Stepping in is Chase Smith. Of course, Smith with that 2 RBI triple to really open things up. Was a 3-1 lead after that double, and then James Golan singled him home. But Smith 1 for 3 today. Big left-hander. Radu with runners on first and second. His first pitch is a curveball outside.
Come on, dude, let's go! I'm big!
Radu's 1-0. Gets away from him, also gets away from Stimson. Stimson holds and runners advance 90 feet. So it'll go as a wild pitch from Radu. Now a completely different hitting situation for Smith. He has 2 runners in scoring position instead of risk of a double play. Radu's 2-0 after the wild pitch. There's a strike at the knees. Smith approves. He's seen one. That little head nod of approval from a batter where you're like, okay, I've seen it now. Kind of the head nod that Smith gave. The 2-1. Remember, just 2 innings ago, it was Chase Smith who, if this score holds, would have the winning hit and winning 2 RBI hit at that. It was a triple. The 3-1, a wave and a miss at ball 4. He gave Radu one there.
Come on, dude, let's go, fight, let's go, come on. Go, Brian.
Runner on second, Kramer. On third is Barber. At the plate is Smith in a full count with 1 down. It's driven to right field. Back on it, under it is Dantry. Dantry will fire home. Shulsky, the cutoff, throws to third. It gets past Petragus. Scoring from first or third on the sac fly is Barber. Kramer moves ahead to third. And an RBI sac fly, Chase Smith. 3 RBI game.
Now batting number 6, James Boland.
That's Blake Simmons in right field, not Dantry. Excuse me, they did a little switch when Simmons came in to pinch hit. Remember, if you remember I was talking about it, I tell you the defensive switches? Well, I never did that, so I apologize for that. But now it's James Goulin, who's had an RBI single his last time up to make it 4-1. Sees ball 1. That's a chopper off the left side, gets over the fence. Hopefully no danger over there. Runner on third, Kramer. At the plate, Golan. It's 1 for 3 today. Reached on an error, struck out, and of course that RBI single. Now swings and misses at strike 2. MJ Marshak started this game for Canon McMillan. Pitched 4 innings, allowed no runs on 4 hits, struck out 7. The 1-2 from Radu is driven high and foul off the left side. Now that rain started to get just a bit heavier, more potent as well. Kind of getting that summer rain smell. Radu's 1-2. There's a chopper to the left side. Head coach Pat McCluskey grabs it barehanded. The approval of the Blue Devils dugout. A 5-1 ball game. All runs surrendered off the hand of Radu. But I mentioned Marshak, 7 strikeouts now puts him up to over 2 strikeouts per inning on the season as the 1-2 is fired high. Due up for Canon McMillan is 4-5-6 Petragus, Williams, Laskowski. Depending on if Laskowski gets pinch hit, the 2-2 is high once more.
kid. One, dude. Come on, kid.
Braden Reduce, full count pitch to James Golan, is driven to left field, coming in, can't get there, an RBI single scores Kramer from third. The Blue Devils extend their lead 6-1 now. Canon McMillan, who looked ever so unstoppable through the first 11 games of the season, have been in a hard-fought series between Mount Lebanon and Mount Lebanon giving them everything they could offer. They win 12-5 here Monday and now are up 6-1 in the seventh. Still damage to be done if they do it with a runner on first. Beckett Yost sees strike one. He's 1 for 3 today. Grounded into a fielder's choice, but reached first, and then in the fourth he doubled, then was caught stealing and flew out in the fifth. The 0-1, Stimson's throw down. That's going to get the runner at second, James Golan. And that's Stimson's third caught stealing of the afternoon, and that ends everything for the Blue Devils. But some damage was done. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, none left on. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's Canon McMillan trailing Mount Lebanon by 5. Today's game is brought to you by Virginia Manor Shops, located on Green Tree Road in Pittsburgh. With convenient access to everyday essentials like groceries, banking, coffee, and more, it's the perfect stop for busy days. Whether you're running errands or grabbing something quick, everything you need is right there in one location. Make your next stop Virginia Manor Shops. Graham Keene looking to complete this game. Keene has just been so efficient on the mound today. Troy Stimson behind the plate for Canon McMillan has been also extremely impressive in this one. Has caught 3 runners out by way of the gun. The gun being that right arm. Stimson going to pit. Keene to Vanderbilt. Shulsky, Cincinnati, Marshchalk, Winthrop. A lot of talent on this diamond today. Being displayed by both teams. It's Nico Petregas who has the lone RBI hit for Canon McMillan, who's going to lead things off. So Keene coming into this 7th inning has pitched 6 efficiently. He's struck out 10. He's only allowed 4 hits. 3 hits, rather, has Keene allowed. Canon McMillan needing every bit of offense they can get right now as Petregas takes ball 1. Sees a strike. And with no lights, kind of just dark, gutted scenery here at McDowell Lane Field. No more sunlight like we saw at first pitch. It was 81 degrees, almost no clouds. Now there's no area with no clouds in the sky. And the rain's coming down, changing directions every which way as Petregas swings at strike 2. Pops in and out of the glove of Levi Isner. Petregas coming into this one, .324 batting average, 12 RBI, has yet to hit a home run. Put that number, both of those numbers up as he recorded his 13th RBI, but the 1-2 from Keene is popped high and foul behind the plate. The 1-2 delivery from the hand of Keene. From the belt. Swing and a miss. Isner down to first, gets away. Petragus reaches first. After an errant throw from Isner, makes Golan jump. And it pops in and out of Golan's glove with it being wet. So regardless of him recording his 11th strikeout, Petragus reaches base safely for the second time in a row. So it'll go as strikeout E2. Now it's Braden Radu, who was pinch hit for Keegan Williams, comes back into hit because he went on the mound. Still trailing by 5, but with a base runner are the Big Macs. Sees ball 1. Something like that is maybe just the type of thing you need to get these late inning rallies going. One minor mistake by the opposition just may create more opportunity for the offense of the Big Macs. Pickoff, swift pickoff that is, over to first from Keene. Petragus gets back in safely. 6-1 ball game after a 4-run 5th and a 2-run 7th. Canon McMillan opened things up in the 4th. Quickly answered by a barrage from the Blue Devils. The 1-0 to Radu. He swings at a ball that's very far out of the strike zone. Didn't want it. Coach lets him know. Radu, after tossing 3 innings, allowed 5 runs on 5 hits. Struck out 2. At the plate, he's lifted this one high and foul off the left side.
Go 4-7. Come on, Brett.
Runner on first, Petragus, reached after a drop third strike and an error on the catcher, Isner. The 1-2 to Radu is driven to the left side. It's Kapler coming in. He makes the catch after ranging to his left. 1 down. That'll go as a line out to the left fielder. Put it on your scorecards as an L7. Walking in now is Caden Laskowski, who we saw take a fall in left earlier. Glad everything's okay there. Probably just a situation where he got the wind knocked out of him because he fell straight on his chest. But with the runner Petragus on first, Laskowski looking to do everything after he's about a few inches off of even alignment with the plate. Holds on the Keene thought he went from the angle up here. Not going to lie, it kind of looked like Laskowski broke the plate, but it's all up to the umpires at that point. Check swing, ball 1. And again, Keene and Isner not on the same page. They reset. The 1-0. Laskowski fouls it back. Kind of cued off at the end of the bat. Out in front early. Chalked back right into the equipment of Isner. Laskowski 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Reached on a fielder's choice and then was victim of a 1-3-4-3-6 put out in a rundown after he got picked off by Keene. That one's grounded to first off the glove of Golan. First and second one down. Second time Golan has had trouble. He made a phenomenal play in that second inning to corral a ball in shallow left. But these First 2 plays, he's had some trouble with that glove. It's now 1st and 2nd with Sebastian Schulski up. Trailing by 5. The runner to cut the deficit to 2 is up at the plate. Head coach Pat McCluskey grabs the glove of Golan in that meeting, kind of messes with him, gets some laughs there. But this weather that you see now, it was not here at first pitch, probably rolled in about an hour 15, hour 20 after. First pitch occurred at 4 o'clock.
Now batting.
It is now 6:10.
First baseman Sebastian Schulski.
Sebastian Schulski. He has runners on 1st and 2nd. It's Laskowski at 1st, Petragus at 2nd. Trailing by 5. Schulski drives one to right field. That's the other way. That's going to get down. Rounding 3rd, headed for home. Gingerly is Petragus. Rounding 3rd, holding 3rd is Laskowski. Sebastian Schulski with an RBI double delivers.
Come on, Blake. Come on, Blake.
RBI double for Debbie.
Sebastian Schulski RBI doubles, puts runners on 2nd and 3rd, now trailing by 4. So Nico Petragus, who struck out to start the inning, reached on an errant throw from Isner.
Number 16, Blake Simmons.
Makes the score 6-2. Now the tying run on deck. That's a ground ball to 3rd. Crashing home is Laskowski on to 1st. Kramer gets Simmons, but a run scores. Cuts the lead in half. It's 6-3. Schulski remains at 2nd. Now 2 down.
Now batting number 10, Noah Westfall.
That was Blake Simmons who grounded out into that 5-3 put up. So an RBI round out. 2 down. It's Noah Westfall needing to reach base safely to keep Canon McMillan's hopes of coming back in this game alive. The tying run's on deck. That's a high chopper to 3rd. Kramer, who just made a play. Low glove on to 1st. 5-3 put out ends this one. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back plays. And it's Ben Kramer who does magic in the field. And once again, for the 2nd time this week, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils come into Canon McMillan's home field at McDowell Lane Field, McDowell Lane Sports Complex in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, and take over. So Mount Lebanon improves to 3-3 in conference play, 10-4 overall, handing Canon McMillan their 2nd loss in 4 days. Their 1st and 2nd losses of the season. Canon McMillan will remain 1st in the conference with that 7-2 conference record. But watch out for the Blue Devils, they're coming. Before we leave, we would like to thank all of our sponsors from the Mariana Outdoors Association, Boyer Pentek, Seaside Sports, Virginia Manor Shops, Hellbender Marketing, Midtown Market, MP Coney Island, Major Mallards Duckpin Bowling, Brochacho's Salsa, All-Star Sports Bar and Grill, and of course, the Life in Motion Chiropractic Center here in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. We thank you all, as it would not be possible without you. From McDowell Lane Field at the McDowell Lane Sports Complex in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils once again defeat the Canon McMillan Big Macs, this time by way of a 6-3 victory. It was Graham Keene who went 7, struck out 11. MJ Marshchalk was impressive as well, but from here at Keystone Global Media Productions, thanks to our crew, Dean Shazer, Chris Labart, Matthew Leeper, and Benicio DeFalco, Mount Lebanon takes it 6-3 over Canon McMillan.